He's the fisherman. He was a fisherman yesterday. He got everyone. He got the prio targets. Drian and CW. Oh man, this is gonna be tough.
Not just
especially
that,
now that you have that Drian is using the Eve, Rashi.
Yeah, exactly. Because not only is Vin just good with the hooks, when he sees a potential opportunity to turn the game around, he has no hesitation in flickering forward and hitting people with that suppression, and that is something that ONIC will have to always be on their toes about.
In my opinion, looking at composition alone, I have to go for ONIC Esports, to be honest. I feel like they're stronger in their lanes as well. They have the better high ground, they have the better potential. But if the Franco can perform the way that he could yesterday, then RRQ Hoshi has the gig.
Absolutely, but let's see who gets to the first 2 points in this best of 7. Ladies and gentlemen, hashtag go ONIC or hashtag Viva RRQ to let us know who you guys think will win this game. Well, I already know who Arashi is going to predict because of the Eve, so I'm not even going to ask you, Arashi. But Eterna, what about you?
ONIC.
ONIC too, all right. ONIC. 2 votes for ONIC. For me, I don't know why this time I actually prefer RRQ's. No, yeah, I have to go with ONIC as well. I thought about it a little bit. The Yve is going to have a better time in that mid lane. Keyboy is on the Cho, and guess what? Beatrix, Brody lane. It's going to be really tough for Brody.
And even in the bottom side, to be honest, but that's the thing. Where are the winning lanes for the side of RRQ Hoshi?
The winning lanes, I think it will be perhaps the Boxia actually in the bottom side. There is a bit of back and forth right now, but Boots is actually freezing that lane, so R7 is going to be forced to try and break that freeze. And for the most part, I think as long as they don't get hooked, right? As long as the priority members on the side of ONIC Esports don't fall victim to Vin's hook, they will be put in a pretty good spot as Keyboy very narrowly dodges one.
Okay, I'm gonna make a tally of all the hooks and see
you're gonna
which ones land.
You're gonna count the pick, success rate of the hooks.
Okay, yeah.
Oh wait. Ooh. Well, you're gonna count that as well because Keyboy just stole the gold buff away from Albert, who is using a Lancelot. Lancelot again, very notorious for securing these neutral objectives. Gold buff though was definitely not in the sights of Albert, as Keyboy was the one who took it.
Well, right now we do see the Suns is continuing to farm, and Albert is somewhat in the same vicinity. And so far, it is just farming because I think both teams will really want their level 4, their ultimates, to try and stay relevant.
Oh, but it's angry close. Actually connects onto 2 members. Sans now will be able to pop that first ability to get out. Albert actually misses on that puncture, so he will not have that. He goes for the Torn Throws, dodging away from the Jikundo, but Sans is going for the re-engage, and Albert has no mobility. With that first ability missed, they knew it, and Sans just pulled the trigger. First blood presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A-Series as Keyboy jumps in with the Jikundo. Vin looking for the suppression, will be able to get it, but look at the real-world manipulation, just stopping them in their tracks, and in the backside as well. Boots will not connect onto his ultimate, but still, 2-member zone, and ONIC pick up the first turtle of the game.
First turtle and 1 member taken down though, so it is going to be a trade. It is still in favor for ONIC Esports though, as now we're going to take a look at the talents here for the emblems.
For the talents, you can tell that Boots is attempting to actually go for the aggressive approach onto this direct against Baksha matchup. And for CW, it's standard. More movement speed for kiting and a bit more damage as well. Just to make sure that, you know, in the lane, you can have as much success as possible. And Keyboy, though, going for that extra bit of cooldown, he is planning on being as obnoxious as possible. He has so far been able to steal a gold buff. And now that he's level 4, you can expect the Way of the Dragon to come out and, you know, onto the priority targets really, really soon.
Let's see. Take a look at the items, though, Arashi, because in the 3rd minute, who actually has the power spike?
Well, in the 3rd minute, we haven't seen the first item coming in, but once the first item gets built, I really think that it's still going to be favoring ONIC Esports for a bit, just because they do have a Sicilian on the side of RRQ Hoshi. He will need a bit more time to stay relevant.
Man, the hooks actually missed there in that top side. It does seem like RRQ Hoshi, they're looking for a trade, but Keyboy goes in.
Yeah, the Jikundo combo with the Dragon. It's very hard to avoid that when you're Clay, when you don't have sprint on that Sicilian, but RRQ are looking for the pick of their own up top. Keyboy still able to shun Poo out of there, and RRQ just back off. ONIC with the lead, 1,000 gold, and this is the thing that we've been saying a lot, Arashi. When Keyboy gets his hands on a flashy hero, on a playmaking hero, it is disastrous. Jawhead Cho, and now Vin walks up into that bush. He is going to get punished for sure. Instant flicker from Vin.
Oh, they're starting to predict the movements of Vin here from the side of ONIC Esports. It is still very earlier on in the game. I'm quite afraid when it gets to the mid game if it has the same amount of failure, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. 2 seconds on the clock for the next turtle to finally show up. And it seems like RRQ Hoshi are the first ones there.
Well, keep in mind that ONIC did get a glimpse of this Franco yesterday already, so they are a lot more prepared as Sans goes into his win.
Uh-oh, he's gonna suppress though, so that's gonna be the damage coming in onto Sans, and that's everything, but Keyboy gets a very good pick. He kicks Clay into the real world manipulation. Albert dodges away, he gets immobilized, but everyone is low from RRQ. It is somehow still going to favor ONIC because they will be able to put pressure on the map, and that is what pressure means. Getting these objectives, the turret gold, and even clearing up the waves, still ONIC with the lead.
It's so scary because if this D-Roll scales, you can imagine the amount of burst that it can potentially have on the Franco, let's say, as well as the Boxia. And these are the things that ONIC Esports have paid in mind. They are leading with a 1,000 gold lead for the moment. And the turtle, up until this day, is still yet untouched.
Yeah, both teams are just trying to get control and they don't want to try and risk anything because as you can see, both Keyboy and Vin, they're adamant on trying to find a very valuable pick for their own team. RRQ is grouping up and R7 is in the vicinity, but so is Boots. Finally, the two EXP laners come to try and get involved.
Well, Albert and Sans, they're going to go for the battle of the Retribution, and Albert surely will be able to take that away with the Thorn Rose, chained with the Retribution. Turtle slain. That's the second turtle of the game going to the hands of RRQ, so they have equalized in objectives and kills.
Yeah, ONIC Esports, though, still with the 500 gold lead. It is starting to equalize, as you mentioned there, as RRQ Hoshi now. They are gonna have to look for a trade, look for a pick like this.
Oh, Vin flickers in, and that is what you want from Vin with this Franco. Keyboy tries to go for a pick, but he is not going to be able to do that. What an amazing Thorn Rose timing from Albert to get out of the way the dragon there. Boots caught in the bad situation once again. He just walks up, and he's going to get punished by the Thorn Rose. He goes in, but it's only on to Vin. That is not worth it. That's the Roman traded in for your life. Sans goes back in, but the Thorn Rose and the Bat Impact finds its mark. The audience erupt, and CW's taken low. RRQ have turned the tides. A 1,000 gold lead now for them.
2-for-1 trade as well in terms of kills. So RRQ Hoshi, they are trading very well. Plus, the turret is going to fall in that bottom side as well. So RRQ Hoshi, they are playing the discipline game. They are playing the ONIC game, looking for objectives every time they go in for these kills.
Right, so I think RRQ Hoshi, they just need to actually take their wins and then back away and then try and look for some more. Because as we mentioned, in the beginning it was going so well. They picked off Drian, right? But then they continued the fight and somehow allow ONIC time to actually recover and group around, and they just have the better setup essentially. So RRQ Hoshi, they have to understand that their main card control tool is the hook and the suppression from Vin. If it is down, they shouldn't mind just taking a chill pill and actually waiting for the next opportunity. Clay though already has the Lightning Truncheon, so the burst is going to be a lot more reliable. Whereas for Drian, going with the Enchanted Talisman build will mean that all his spells are a lot more spammable, and that is never a good thing for the opposing team.
Okay, 7 minutes in, and Clay has already been able to get his hands on his two most important items. That's quick, no?
It's relatively quick for sure.
I think he has a lot of stacks as well, no?
Yeah, he's been relatively okay in the mid side. He gets picked off once due to Keyboy, but that aside, 2 kills right now on the side of Clay. So he is in a pretty comfortable spot as RRQ will now make a play for the purple buff, and Vin will be looking for that big moment.
This trade actually works out for both of these teams. Because RRQ, they are a more skirmish-heavy team, right? They want to go for more fights, so they get the turtle. Meanwhile, ONIC, they want to go for the sieges, so they get the objective. So far, it's been such an equal game, but yeah, Sans was the one to take that purple buff. And RRQ, they're just actually baiting for the retribution, to be honest, right? They're trying to create some space up top, and they've done it.
Man, the way that RRQ Hoshi is playing the map right now, it's a little similar to how ONIC would do it.
Very similar to how ONIC did it, literally, just last game.
And Skylar for sure is 1-0-4, but he has a lot of gold. Did you see how much damage he was doing to the turrets? He can't be left alone towards the structures, man, as RRQ, they're just waiting around, going for that roam squad and trying to make the best out of that Franco pick. He nearly misses the orange buff, unfortunately, but for the most part, they can still roam around, and ONIC Esports don't really have kill threat unless they get, they find Clay or Albert just alone in the jungle and engage with Keyboy, who goes in with the, with the conceal.
Oh, that was almost just a play. The Jikundo flicker was ready for the side of Keyboy, but Albert, he used the Thorn Rose, basically denying that from happening. And because of that, RRQ will actually have that bottom side pushed and might be
A
The
turret.
turret taken down by the minions, but no, they are quick to respond. 2 members instantly down below, and it is just going to get chunked by a little bit. Not enough to take it down.
Not yet, for the most part. RRQ Hoshi, they just need to do the banana split theory, I guess.
Yep.
Once again, try and distract ONIC Esports in one side of the area and to just keep pushing for these objectives because it's working out really well. Look at the Boxia already, R7 at the top side, pushing.
Yeah.
So similar to Boots and his gameplay on that Esmeralda last time we saw him.
I mean, the playstyle is pretty similar. It's just when they start grouping up with their allies, yeah? And now in the bottom side, CW and Keyboy are going to be cut off from their team.
Oh, this is really a good pick here for the side of RRQ. Keyboy's going to be able to get away the dragon down on to Vin, but it is going to be CW taken down. No, he actually dodges away from the Thorn Rose. It is just Keyboy picked up. Immobility there for the side of Drian as he uses the real world manipulation on Albert, but it is a 1-for-0. Once again, RRQ, they picked up the roamer. That means that ONIC will have a hard time opening up this Lord.
100%. Even if they want to look for initiation, literally Keyboy is the only person who can do that. Because if Drian opens it up first, it can instantly be taken away with RRQ Hoshi's composition. They have the claws coming in from Clay. They have Vin as well. So such a tough time right now. The Lord is going to be secured very safely by the side of RRQ Hoshi, and they are now leading with a 4,000 gold lead.
That is the issue for ONIC Esports, right? They have the Way of the Dragon, the Jeet Kune Do Way of the Dragon combo, but that only allows them to pick off one person. Everything else will be relied on Drian to go with some counter-engage when RRQ make the first move. So unless RRQ does that, ONIC Esports don't really have a lot of options, and they can just wait for each other, but RRQ Hoshi has the potential to just land a very massive hook and actually take control of the game.
It's time for you guys to get a buy one, get one as well, because this game, again, is a best of 7. So we're only in game number 2. It's getting more interesting as the games keep on going. And I feel like it's going to go all the way. So you guys can go buy your ticket, buy one, get one, and also get the Emerald Wanwan skin because it has collector level effects.
It does. And it seems like RRQ Hoshi, they're going for the engage here, the siege.
That impact being shot out by Clay as ONIC will be able to clear out.
Oh, Keyboy!
Keyboy makes the play.
Oh my god, Vin! That was precise timing. He used that ultimate at the right moment, and did you see his positioning? He was the only one who did not get CC'd. If he got CC'd, it would have just been Clay picked off. Wow, what a performance by Vin there, and he goes for an Iron Hook. Unfortunately, it does not connect. Very good cover play.
What do you think that ONIC Esports can do? Because they're heavily relying on Keyboy to make the plays, but if it fails like it just did right now, who can they depend on?
Oh, well, they cannot depend on Booth because he's about to go. Okay, Flicker.
Close.
Close. That was really close.
Oof. If they want to depend on someone to try and make an engage, the only one available is Yi, right? My bad. Got to be distracted there. But yes, with the Yi, he can actually go for the road manipulation, or he can slow people down enough for Keyboy or Sans to just make the opening move. The issue with that, though, is that they'll be running straight into Sanguine Claws or perhaps a suppression coming in from the Franco. We saw something similar to that effect happen in the bot side jungle earlier, so their options are actually very limited. And they might have to rely on CW landing some snipes and softening up RRQ to force them backwards before they start any aggressive play.
6,700 gold lead for the side of RRQ Hoshi, now pushing to a 7,000. It seems like ONIC Esports, they're getting freezed into their own lane. I think that's exactly what RRQ Hoshi wants. They want to be able to bait the members from ONIC Esports, take them out one by one, and finally go in for that final finishing touch. Because I guess if they go for a team fight, it's still, it might still favor RRQ Hoshi actually.
Well, with a 7k gold difference, I think there's a lot of power in RRQ Hoshi in the item department. We'll have to see and wait for the item bills to come up, but this is going to be the Lord Cam by the Samsung Galaxy A series, and RRQ instantly converge on the area and let R7 be far away because he can just roll into town once the fight begins. And as you mentioned, the items here, Vin goes for the Iridian Armor, so a bit more tankiness, but Clay, already with the Divine Glaive, actually being able to do a lot of damage, and Winter Truncheon for security as well. Wow. They are having like a 1 or 2 item advantage over ONIC Esports right now. If they play calculatively and don't give any shutdowns, this is looking like it's in the bag for RRQ.
I guess the Affinity Shield has been built by Boots as well as Sans, so 3 members are going to be very susceptible to the engages coming in from RRQ Hoshi with the claws as well as that bad impact. It does seem like Keyboy is on the way, but other than that, the damage is going to penetrate.
And can we talk a little bit about RRQ's draft now? This is something that I have just realized right now. Did you see how fast they took that Lord?
Mm-hmm.
Brody, Sicilian, and Lancelot. These three heroes are so good at neutral objective takes. So,
Bakshi as well, no?
yeah, Baksha as well. Technically, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So this composition, it was made to control the neutral objectives. That's why they haven't really cared about the turrets in that early stage. They care more about the turtles. Let's see here. Will they be able to siege down the base? With the Enhanced Lord marching down in that top side, they are going to be able to clear out the bottom and mid lane as well. I think they should be grouping with the Lord here. They will indeed do that, but I think it's a little bit too late here. Sans caught in the Sanguine Claws, will get chunked, but still, RRQ with the proactive movements on the map, trying to look for more here in the mid lane. Keyboy forced to dash away with the shampoo. He has the flicker, so Clay needs to position himself really, really well. Bad impacts being thrown all across the board, but it is going to be RRQ taking that mid lane base turret for free. ONIC not really wanting to go for any aggressive movements. Albert trying to bait the movement for the side of ONIC as Keyboy uses the G Kundo, but does not connect. Drion walking back. Keyboy still trying to zone Albert away as both teams will disengage for now.
Ooh.
Waiting for the next mini waves. Vin misses just nearly on that hook. It is going to be CW getting the runner shot, and both teams disengage, looking for that next wave.
2 inhibitor turrets already taken down by the side of RRQ Hoshi, as once
wow.
again RRQ are looking for another engage. But for the most part, it does seem like ONIC Esports is still able to defend. RRQ Hoshi were looking for an opening there, but weren't able to get it in a sense. As now we're going to take a look at the real-time win probability here by the Samsung Galaxy A series. 67% for the side of RRQ Hoshi.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah,
that-
it's starting this thing now.
That is the damage coming from Beatrix. It's, you know, at the end of the day, it's still a top-tier team in ONIC Esports. They are behind, but they can easily catch up. For the most part, everyone still is at 4 or 5 items, especially the main carry. So CW is lacking 1 item compared to Skylar, but he still does a very healthy amount of damage, especially if you are one of the carries who are not building physical attributes.
Oh man, Vin again lethal on that hook. He gets it onto Keyboy. What a hook from Vin, the fisherman, as Agani gave him that nickname yesterday. He is living up to it. Because of that, that is a free enhanced Lord. They're not waiting for the evolved Lord, but I think they are just looking for the end with this one. Again, look at that damage. Look at how fast they take this. Baksha, not here. Not needed. Albert just picks it up without the retribution even. He just gets it with the Thorn Rose, and they're looking to go for one straight push. RRQ with the concealed play. Sans needs to be careful, and he, nearly just gets hooked there with the flicker hook combo. Sans movement is impeccable here, but RRQ, they're looking for the siege in the next push with the next mini waves that are spawning right now.
ONIC Esports went for a risky play as well, as they were able to push the minions in that bottom side with CW there. But if RRQ Hoshi hinted at that, that would have been disastrous. But instead, they do get a trade on the board. They are able to push a little bit in terms of those towers, as we're going to take a look at the items here in the 17th minute.
Clay has the Ice Queen's wand, so he has provided a lot more utility. If the members from ONIC Esports want to back away, want to disengage from a fight, even if he just pops the Bat Feast, it will be enough to provide some slow for his team to be able to catch someone out of position. So now they are playing with the Lord, but that is the kick coming from Keyboy.
Yeah, Keyboy goes over the way of the Dragon, but it's not going to be onto the right target here. Albert dives deep, and he will be able to get out with the Phantom Execution, as that Sans diving as well. But Clay deals out so much. Skylar with the front to back just melts all of the frontliners. He flickers forward, a double kill for Clay. Trion will not be able to defend this one. The base will be targeted. RRQ lead 2-1 in the series with a calculated game.
2-1 series for the side of RRQ Hoshi. And honestly, I feel like that Way of Dragon was a huge mistake by ONIC Esports. I do understand they were in a tough spot. It was a desperate attempt, but